I also can prophesize the future. And I also can see subliminal messaging.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Miss Pillberry's slow, girl. Now,
Really? I'm pretty sure I could truck the shit out of you fucking overgrown baby.
Dude, whatever you're smoking, buy a ton of it.
I'm the greatest smack talker on the fucking face of the earth right now.
Possibility of women playing in the league. One day, I don't think it's impossible.
You fucking punk-ass bitch!
Jesus Christ, that hurt. I'm still gonna.
I'm fucking real, bro. You ain't shit.
Well, this is smacking off. If you don't like it, change your diaper and leave.
Don't be ridiculous right now, okay?
I'd rather watch softcore porn than have to watch all of that.
No, that's how you make opium, and then from there you gotta cross it.
Bro, who invited this dude, bro? What the fuck? Get this dude out of here, bro.
No, U.S. is far better than Oklahoma historically.
How about your meatloaf is moist as my pussy gets? I promise you that.
Oh shit, this has turned into King Arthur's drug class.
How long?
They need you back at the cash register in 5 minutes.
Well, Tiggy's life pipe minus the entertainment value.
Smacking Off the podcast is starting in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
And welcome back to Smacking Off the podcast. I'm your host, Shannon Madden. I'm joined with Doug Phillips, my co-host and producer. What's up, homie?
President's coming on, goddammit.
President Sheckelsworth. Theo Mandingo.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that guy. Well, why am I not hearing the thing? Can you hear out of both your thing?
I think I can.
Yeah, it was there for a minute. Hang on, let me swap this around. We don't really need to hear one another. We know what we sound like.
Right.
Yeah, we're coming through loud and clear here in the middle of all this technology that we have. Old, ancient technology. When did I get this thing?
A long time ago.
I've had this thing about 10 years.
That's working. I can hear everything.
I can't.
You can't? Oh, shit.
Not like you can't. Oh, wait a minute. I think I put the same one in. That was pretty dumb. Anyways, we got a show tonight. We got President Teddy Sheckelsworth, always a friend of the show, friend of the people.
Yeah.
I mean, if you really want to get down to it. We also have a discussion about we're going to start our conference discussion this week. You know, we got football coming up, don't we?
Oh, my God. 33 fucking days away.
About damn time for that shit.
Yep.
Because there's too much group drama right now. In hashtag family smack and abroad, really. There's a lot of unnecessary drama in the smack rooms. I love it. This is my favorite time of the year. It's like Christmas for me.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. People getting a little antsy about football season coming up.
Yeah, something like that. So, something along those lines. You know, it might be this thing. Try this thing. I'm going to try some more technology before you keep talking. Entertain the people. We're going to...
I think I'm just going to hit up President Sheckelsworth.
Well, we can't hear him right now.
Oh, that could be a problem.
Yeah, there's we've had some problems with the headphone jack for a while. Maybe we should start a GoFundMe.
Yeah.
That seems to be all the rage. All the kids are doing that.
Can you hear that?
Oh, I can hear things now.
It may not be the jack.
Might be this thing. Shit. I've been blaming the recorder and the jacks the whole time. I kind of feel sad now. Yeah, not really. What else going on with you?
Sorry, I'm sitting here looking at these PAC people.
The PAC people, yeah.
Yeah, let me just give them a thought.
We got Tiggy Domz coming too, don't we? Are we calling them now?
Not them, no.
No, of course not.
I'm calling
President
I'm calling the Prez.
You got his. I
got his personal number.
The hotline, the red.
Absolutely.
The red phone.
Absolutely.
Yeah, excellent. Didn't Commissioner Gordon had the bat phone. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
No, I can hear you. Can you hear us? That's the question.
I can hear you fine. Can you hear me all right though, for real?
Yeah, you're echoing and everything.
Yeah, you're
cool.
echoing. Are you in the bathroom? Are you pulling a Dane?
It's not a bad echo though. It's a great echo. It's like very presidential.
Yeah.
Well, I do have cherry wood floors in my house, and that's probably the elegance echoing off of cherry wood.
Does your house smells of rich mahogany, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Cigars. Yeah.
All right, 1 second, goddammit. Because I took at least 3 minutes making this.
Oh, yeah. We've got to do the whole thing.
Perfect.
Hell yeah. Did you make that?
Please welcome
Is that your musical composition?
Sheckelsworth
You
smacking
should have
off
lied
the
said you
podcast.
did.
I mean, I could do that.
There's nobody could have sued us for that.
That would take it even longer, though.
Yeah, true. Teddy Sheckelsworth, ladies and gentlemen. What's up, homie?
Thank you. Hey, that went hard.
Yeah.
That went hard.
Yeah. We had to. I mean, there's no other way that we can properly bring you in unless we roll hard.
Man,
I appreciate it.
there's something to talk about right now in group.
Yes, there is.
I think we're just going to get Teddy's analysis on this shit.
Yeah, have you kept up? And all I did was just change the cover photo. Usually just when I change the cover photo, it gets like 3 comments and a couple likes, and that's it. It's over with. It's done. And we got a thread rolling right now. It's almost up to, 800 or so comments about all kind of foolishness and Maury Povich shit.
We're at 694 comments on that.
Okay, so we're just shy of 700. We're just shy of 700. Thank you for that update.
On a strictly banner change. That's it. It was just a banner change. It wasn't
That's it.
anything.
That's all it was. That's how we roll up in there.
I don't know what's going on with it. I just know that when there's a certain individual involved in anything, it's going to get interesting.
And that individual would be who?
You know who it is. Old Chipmunk Cheek Shannon Russell.
Oh, the other Shannon. The Shannon the Lesser.
Yeah, old Sugarfoot. Yeah.
Drums.
They need you a register number 5.
Hashtag drums.
The trailer, the wheels fell off. All that. Yeah.
She's a hot one, buddy. She's a hot mess.
I can't get a read on her. It's like I hate her 99.99% of the time, and then there's
but yeah, you're telling me there's a chance. Yeah.
I mean, earlier today, some yokel came in here, and I don't know who he is, but he splashed women like Dr. Dre and D. Barnes.
It wasn't Dane Willis, was it?
No, it was not Dane. But
okay.
if I was to make a bet and say that they knew each other and hung out together, I would say yes.
They probably hung out together in jail. There is that possibility.
Up from the same cloth.
Yeah.
Up from the same cloth.
They usually put offenders, people that do the same offense, they usually put them in the same section of the jail. So, yeah, they were probably cellmates.
So I haven't even looked through this thread.
Bunk buddies.
At all. I mean, I did early. I seen it. It was blowing up.
I hate that y'all were hating on my girl, Autumn. Autumn, we have tried.
Who's y'all? I haven't.
I was not. If you go back and look and read it, Teddy never did.
I already know who it was.
Teddy likes to look and sit back and read everything and look into everything before I make my decision. Because when I make my decision, I'm like Judge Judy. That shit's final.
It's done. It's over with. That big ass bailiff comes over and pretty much says, "Hey, you got to go." Yeah.
I'm already thinking. I mean, is there going to be is he going to have to pardon somebody, or is he going to have to oust somebody? I mean, Teddy is the president.
Teddy has full control of the situation, actually.
Right.
So, I mean, and Teddy's actually stayed really low key about this. So, you can already tell that there's a decision brewing.
I told you guys when I was elected president of this group, I was going to be a president for the people, of the people, and by the people. You won't see any corny videos of me on here talking with a lisp sounding like Elmer Fudd. You won't see any shit on here that makes me look silly. All you see is the real me and the real you if you look at yourself in the mirror with Family Smack. We all about family. Hashtag worst smack group in America. I'm high. I don't know where even I'm going with this. I'm just rambling. I'm on a roll, and I got this rhythm. And you hear that when you're talking and you do that right there. That just keeps the people interested. No matter what you're doing, Preacher's been doing it for years. I'm out.
Can I ask one thing? Are you the man that was dressed as a clown that led the police on a 35-mile chase while standing up through the sunroof?
That's on Newsweek too. That's not fake news.
No,
I
that's
don't
real.
think. Yeah.
That's completely real.
Hashtag real news.
Man, I can't. I've been advised not to say nothing about nothing on time.
That's a good answer. As your lawyer, that is the correct answer. Teddy will be accepting no more questions at this time. Not about that, anyways. We can talk about other shit, but we can't talk about that. litigation pending.
That one controversy is it's going on as
Dude,
the
it's
podcast.
still going on. It will reach a K.
It's actually killing the podcast tonight because nobody has left the thread.
I'm in that thread right now. That's why I was just talking.
We're all in that thread. I'm doing the fucking podcast and got the tablet open in that motherfucking thread. God, it's awesome. And Kim Gaddy is responsible for this somehow. Kim Gaddy's name was brought up.
Teddy, do me a favor.
It has everything, y'all.
Teddy, do me a favor. Go in the thread and post podcast is on right now. Goddamn it! Go click the podcast.
Yeah. I already did that.
Oh, okay.
I had half of mine to bring.
Right when it came on, I said, "Hey, y'all go listen to the podcast," and they ain't quit. They like little children. They just won't quit.
What group are we talking about? Brad Scholl?
Brad Scholl, yeah, he's
wants to know.
He's a next level guy. Brad, we're talking about Family Smack. Actually, Autumn's in the thread too. You need to get over there. Yeah, it's because it got lit in there. It got lit as fuck, and that's what I'm saying. Kim Gaddy somehow wound up in this thread. Kim fucking Gaddy. She's not even a group anymore.
I'm trying to tell you right now. This thread that's going on has everything. It has comedy. It has drama.
Mm-hmm.
It has intrigue.
Hashtag
it has
drums.
deception. It has deception.
Yes.
It also has some sort of twist with the money situation.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got it all. It's got
criminal charges.
She said. It's got literal police evidence. It's got it all.
It really does. In fact, there was somebody giving a testimonial about spousal abuse in there a little while ago. I mean, it really is. It's like flipping through cable and stopping off an ID channel for a minute, then scrolling over to MTV, and then popping down to the local news. I mean, it's litty.
This is straight Jerry Springer UPN shit. Like, I'm expecting the Parkers to come on after the spread's over with.
Yeah.
That's how fucking hood we getting with.
Yeah, we getting hood with it. We getting WB. Yeah. Remember that frog?
Oh,
the
yeah,
WB. Yeah. That was a great joke. Yeah. I don't know. I'm almost spiritually exhausted from this whole thread today. I mean, that's how grossing it has been.
How many comments now?
It's too many.
705.
Too many.
How many?
705. We cracked 700 as we were having this conversation. It cracked 700, and so I don't, and again. For if this were in the one of the larger groups, one of the 10,000 plus member groups, I guess it wouldn't be that big of a deal. But for our little group, hell yeah, man, I'm good for us.
There's some angry people.
Yeah, that's why our group is so small. We'd have been at 5,000 not too terribly long after we started that group, but people started leaving in droves once they realized what was going on there, and I think that was smart. I really do.
Yeah. You're right.
I kind of got something to say about that whole. There's some groups and some people who's really just salty. You know who they are, and I think they get mad when they see us over here having fun with just like 1,000, 1,500 people. And we just over here having fun. And
we're just shy of 2K right now.
What we do on here is we're having fun.
We typically have about between 1,300 and 1,500 actives.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you get what I'm saying. They got 21,000, 40,000,
yeah,
10,000.
but a lot of them are just.
It ain't but like 5 people, really.
Well, I don't know how many people is actually. I mean, it's just the numbers aren't as high. They're not representative of how many people they've got in the group. There's a lot of
not representative of nothing, because you go to a lot of those groups with 20,000 people and scroll through the shit they got on there, and you're ready to leave after 5 seconds. It's corny. It's all emojis and motherfuckers talking about look at this, blah, say blah. It ain't even nothing funny. I mean, there's a video of dude banging some chick at a bus stop on one of the other at the portal that's affiliated with Family Smack.
Hey, you posted that. I actually made a really dank ass meme off that video.
They're sitting there worried about motherfuckers getting their group shut down. Like, really, they for real are like, don't do this, don't do that, because Zuckerberg is going to get us. They're really scared. And over here, we just like, fuck it. If you do it, we'll just rebuild it again.
Yeah, I half expect to wake up one morning, just about every morning, and see that the group has been taken down by Facebook.
Absolutely.
It's coming.
I wouldn't be mad. Would you be mad?
No.
It's a logical
We would
conclusion.
jump back over. We would jump back over to the Smack Daddy Championships and rebuild from there.
So it would make the Smack Daddy Championships would just be. It would be so quick. It wouldn't even be a thing. And nobody over here scared. And then, but you got people over there, little midgets running shit, talking about don't say this and don't say that. You know, but it is what it is. I ain't trying to get off subject. I don't even know what the subject was.
The subject pretty much is, it boils down to this. You go to Walmart and they have 80 different kinds of bread. Now, they have the cheap bread that everybody gets that they sell 5 million of every day, the Sam's Choice or Great Value or whatever they call it this week. And that's usually what most people get. And I understand that. Some people just want bread. They don't want anything fancy. They don't want anything complicated or grains or this, that, and the other. They just want bread. And they just go get their fucking bread, pay $1, and get the fuck out of there. Or you can reach for the top shelf, something a little bit more complicated, a pumpernickel perhaps. You know what I'm saying? And I think we're the pumpernickel of smack groups. I really do.
Pumpernickel.
We're the rye with extra rye in it. Yeah.
All right. If the group goes down in flames, then the next one is what? Hashtag Family Pumpernickel?
Yeah, Family Pumpernickel.
All right.
Next man up. Hashtag next man up. Hashtag next man up. That's all it is. Just like in sports. Hashtag next man up.
Yeah. Well, we'll never die. I don't know.
I don't know.
It's funny to me that there's times when we talk about stuff in group that it suddenly starts showing up in sports media shortly thereafter. I think we've got some of our lurkers are like, sports directors for television stations. I really do. I swear to God, I'm not.
We know Bailey is.
Yeah. No two ways around it.
Old Jeremy Schofield. I don't know if y'all know about him. He writes a few articles and shit too.
Yeah.
He's another dude to be lurking.
Bailey actually wrote an article last year talking about that Tua should not be the front runner. It should actually be the Oklahoma quarterback. And I swear to God, within a week, national media was talking about it.
Yeah. And, I'm sorry, but it's gotten to the point now, particularly when we talk about news, and news of all kind, not just sports, but everything. It's funny how interrelated the Internet and, television and radio media is kind of going hand in hand these days. It really is.
Yep.
They've gotten, I don't know, man, the Internet's where it's at these days.
Okay, can we just take a second just to reflect on why everything kind of lines up the way the shit does? Everybody got a motherfucking Alexa in their house. Everybody walking around with a motherfucking recorder of some sort in their fucking pocket. Everybody's listening to everything motherfucking
Madden don't have an Alexa. He don't have an Alexa.
Well, I mean, you know what I'm saying? I don't need it. I'm just generalizing.
I do.
Because of the way America is.
I can't live
well,
without
I got an Android device loaded with Google. I have Alexa.
Unless you live out in the country, in the middle of fucking nowhere, you got solar panels, you got a septic system. You
can't
got
do that
well,
anymore. Can't do that anymore. Got to stay on the grid. Got to stay on the grid. You can't just go out in the middle of the woods like an old hippie and get a bunch of guns and stuff like that. You can't do that, man.
You can.
Government will come and they'll say this is unsafe.
Have y'all ever heard about this for a second? Hold on, let me ask you something. Have y'all ever heard about an Agenda 21?
Yeah, absolutely. UN Agenda 21. Yeah. Very dangerous.
It's extremely dangerous, and if you look around, it's happening right before our eyes.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, well, I'll go back even further and read the George Orwell story, 1984. I mean, that's pretty much that's we're dab smack.
So it didn't happen exactly the way he said because he couldn't know everything but.
The shit he got right, though, man, there's no way you can dare deny that.
Oh, no.
And it wasn't the fact that he got it right. It was the fact that the government's like, oh, hello, nurse, what's this right here?
Yep.
Shit, that's a great idea. Yeah, that's where we're at now.
Nah, I don't think so. I think it was in the plans. I think he knew about the plans.
That's what I was going to ask you. Do you think it was...
He was an educator.
Do you think it was like the chicken or the egg? You know what I'm saying? Like, did the government come up with this shit before, and Orwell just knew about it and wrote about it? Or did the government come up with it after he wrote it?
The government's always about the highest efficiency of control that they can have.
Yeah.
And that's...
But it didn't always used to be that way. When did it turn that way? It didn't always. We weren't.
I think it's always been that way, but they just haven't had the technology.
They were much more subversive about it, and they didn't have the resources like they do now.
Right.
You know, and now they, you know, the United States government is awash with money. Awash with money. And that's the money that we know about. They also have a very secret budget for the Pentagon. The Pentagon has a pretty much, God, I don't even know how much.
In Family Smack, though, we run everything above board, and that's why Teddy got elected.
Yes, absolutely.
We ain't spying on nobody.
No.
Ain't gonna be no skunk works. Ain't gonna be no Black Ops, no Project Blue Book happening here. We all open, baby.
No Benghazi to worry about here, folks.
No Benghazi, but if there was a Benghazi, I'd get my motherfuckers out.
Yeah, that's right. Because Teddy is not only for the people, but he will free the people.
You remember the one meme when Teddy had all the bombs and shit sticking in his back?
Oh yeah.
I got teary-eyed looking at that shit.
I did too.
Because I was thinking, this is for real, man.
I felt so.
I was sleeping last night, and this is what Teddy was. Huh?
It came from the heart.
Yep.
Yeah, I felt some kind of way about it, and I rarely feel some kind of way about anything on the internet, despite what Shannon Russell says. Drums. Hashtag drums. Yeah, well, I mean, they do, though.
We're at 700, and we're at 714 comments now.
Oh, it's going to keep going. It's going to go well into
I'll
the
go
night.
throw one in later.
I'm going to throw 3 in.
3?
Yeah.
Just, okay.
680 of the comments come from Shannon Russell talking to herself.
This is true, yeah.
She's going to be at the top of the contributor list next time I publish one?
Probably so, yeah.
Wait, no, she can't.
No, she's an admin.
She'll be 1 through 10.
Yeah.
Somehow.
No, she can't. She's not eligible because she's an admin. But
Why don't we just give her the group? Just let her take it
just
over.
give it to her?
Yeah. I mean, you just quietly back
Family
away.
drums?
Quietly back away, yeah.
This shit would be done in about 30 minutes.
40. I'd give it 45. Because
Motherfuckers would be jumping out of this group quicker than the World Trade Center on 9/11.
I don't know. I really don't know. I think if we just completely just made the group entirely about Shannon Russell for one day, it would probably we'd suddenly see a spike in
you want to do
just
it?
for people just to see what's
tomorrow?
Going on.
Family drums.
I thought you were saying just let her take the group because next thing you know, only thing we all know is about corn dog recipes, how to cook alligator, and how to patch your hole in the tire on your trailer. I'm not doing all that.
Do Cajuns eat alligators? They probably do.
Yeah, they eat gator. They eat gator all the time.
Yeah.
Dude,
Gator is pretty fucking good.
The very best gumbo I've ever had gator in it.
Gator is good.
Oh, gator's damn good.
Well, alligators to them coon asses is like deer to regular people. A motherfucker will hit a deer in the car, and sometimes it's just all right and good. You know, you go ahead and scoop it up, take it home, and cook it up. That's what they do with the alligators down there. They wild. They take the squirrels and the raccoons and shit. They even do some armadillo shit.
I've had squirrel before.
It's fucking wild.
I do live in Alabama, you know. We eat squirrel here.
I won't eat squirrel.
Why?
It's a rat with a fuzzy tail.
So?
I don't eat
bet
rat.
Rat fucking tastes delicious, too, if I could get around the fact it's been sifted through garbage all day. That's why I don't eat raccoon either.
Yeah, I don't know.
Raccoon, I don't know if raccoon would be very
I ain't
good.
eating no squirrel. I watched them do that shit on Duck Dynasty. They had some squirrel fucking, what do you call it? Squirrel and dumplings.
Yeah.
And they didn't fillet that shit, man. They just skinned that motherfucker and threw them in with. You can see.
I think they did that. They did that shit for TV. Now, if it were me, you got to slice them up a little bit and put a little flour and salt and pepper on them.
Yeah.
And fry them fuckers up, man. Make a little bit of fried
Isn't that a
squirrel.
little greasy?
It is a little greasy, but I mean, if you fry it, it's fried. Anything's greasy. So.
At the same time, they was greasy.
Duck is greasy as fuck.
Yeah, it is.
Duck is greasy as fuck, especially if you get them Oriental duck. If you go to like a Chinese restaurant and get some duck.
Yeah.
That shit is greasy as fuck. It ain't duck. That's squirrel.
Like on a Christmas story.
Right. It's not duck. It's the squirrel because it's kind of a similar texture and greasiness.
Yeah.
Yeah, but squirrel and duck taste completely different though. They do.
Yeah, but I'm trying to tell you, when they throw all that MSG on it, it don't even.
I wouldn't know. I will never know what squirrel tastes like.
Oh, I'm gonna accidentally feed you on
You
purpose. It tastes about like rabbit does.
I like rabbit.
I know. Rabbit's fucking awesome.
You ever had Rocky Mountain oysters?
No. Come on, man.
About calf fries.
No. I don't do that shit, man. I don't eat genitals. I'm sorry I don't. Unless they're living and they belong on a woman.
I'm trying to tell you, it's good. It's good.
I ain't doing it.
Good.
I ain't doing it. The whole concept of eating genitals is weird to me. I don't know.
You would eat it and not even know it. You would eat it and not even know it. If somebody was to be like, yo,
that's why I ask, what is this before I put it in my mouth? I've done that for my whole life.
And then somebody like me would just totally lie to you, and you would eat it and be like, damn, this is pretty good. And then after about the third one, you'd be like, yo, you're eating balls.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. I'll give you that one.
Teddy, you got any words of wisdom for these angry people in this thread?
Teddy? Teddy?
Hello?
There you are.
Hello.
We lost.
I had a technical difficulties.
I heard it.
But no, we were just asking for some parting wisdom for some of the people that are still locked in that thread over there.
These angry people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do have a little bit. I do have something to say about it. Guys, we it's just Facebook. Literally tomorrow morning, if your electricity was off and your internet was down in your house, you would live. Everybody would be fine. And nobody really don't care that much. We fuck with you like we do care that much. We don't fucking care. After I log out of Facebook, I don't think about the shit no more. All the motherfuckers fucking with everybody like we do is just get y'all motherfuckers riled up and y'all fall into the trap every time. And I just appreciate y'all for playing along. And I'm going to go back to the thread and start some more shit up if there ain't nothing else.
Teddy, one final question. What strain are you blowing on tonight?
Okay, I am blowing on 3 Kings off of my Kingpin vape, but also I'm smoking on my flower, which is sour diesel.
Very
and I
nice.
also have some bubble gum in the back that I hit because it's the indica and it puts me in a nice, good, relaxed mode to go to sleep. So that's the menu tonight. We got the 3 Kings strain on the vape pen. I got the sour diesel to keep me talkative and alert, and then I got the bubble gum to put me out and go to sleep. That's how you do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Teddy Sheckelsworth, thank you so much. We appreciate you coming on, dude.
No problem. No problem. Y'all motherfuckers take it deep.
All right, we'll be coming back with these Pac-12 fuckers here in a second.
Let's do it.
I can't type. I don't take dictation. I won't sharpen pencils. I can't file. My boss calls me indispensable.
Miss Jones,
Just a minute.
will you make a copy of this?
Naturally. I push the button on the Xerox 914. I make perfect copies of whatever my boss needs by just turning a knob and pushing a button. Anything he can see, I can copy in black and white on ordinary paper. And am I fast? I can make 7 copies in a minute. By the way, I never need wet chemicals. My 914 is a dry machine, powder dry. Sometimes my boss asks me which is the original, and sometimes I don't know. Here, Mr. Smith, I'm going to lunch with Mother.
You are now listening to Smacking Off the Podcast. Tune in every Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific. Fuck each and every one of you that don't.
Ooh, I'm good. Step away from the beer. Just stay calm. Step away from the beer. These hands are licensed weapons. Yeah, yeah, sha.
They were shooting a commercial for Labatt's Breweries. They had a storyboard. They didn't have any set design in mind. There was nothing. There was no illustration. They just came to me and said they wanted 5 Sasquatch, Bigfoot costumes, and were made in such a way that they could be snowboarded in. We love what we do.
Place your fresh cocaine. I'm gonna have to go undercover. Sweet mother of pearl. Glacier Fresh Coconut.
And welcome back to Smacking Off the Podcast. I'm your host, Shannon Madden, joined with Doug Phillips. And we got a PAC discussion, Pac-12.
Mm-hmm. We got two guys on. We got Tiggy, Domz, and we have Austin Parish.
Very nice.
Which both
What's
have
up,
been on
fellas?
before.
What's going on, guys?
Hey, what's goody?
Let's talk about it. First off, we got to get it out of the way because, this is probably going to be come up a couple times in the conversation. Does the Pac-12 field a playoff contender this year?
It's happened before.
And who is it going to be? I already know Tiggy's answer.
I don't know. I'm not buying the Oregon hype, and I'm not too sure on Washington, and I'm not too sure on Stanford. I think it's really up in the air. I really don't know what's going to happen.
I mean, Utah has a chance too. I'll give them that. I think it's going to be Washington and Oregon are both going to make it.
Are both going to make the playoffs? Washington and Oregon.
Yeah. No, here's how this happens, right? Wait.
If I'm not mistaken, Washington has to go to Arizona State this year. And remember
we don't have UW on the schedule.
You don't? Oh,
no.
shit.
We have to go to Arizona, I think it's Arizona. It's
one okay, god damn.
Every year, man, it's one of the two, dude.
Well, we know what happened last time Washington went to Arizona State.
Yeah. No, we don't really talk about Arizona and Arizona State, man. That's kind of,
Austin Parish does. He's a Sun Devil.
He's a Sun Devil.
He is. We found a Sun Devil.
Yeah, whenever we play Arizona State in Seattle, we blow them out. That's all I know about him.
Well, not last year. Last year you guys won by 7.
Oh yeah, no, last year was a pain, dude. We sucked ass, man. We had close games with everyone. Fucking Jake Browning, bro.
Didn't y'all win the PAC?
I mean, we won, but it was a struggle. Like, we never struggled to win, back in 2017, 2016. But 2018 was a struggle, man. We struggled against Colorado, Arizona State, pretty much every team, man.
Maybe the other teams are coming up.
Maybe, dude. That's why the PAC's going to put 2 teams in. Look.
Two teams this year?
Washington and Oregon is what he just said.
Oregon, no, because they have the big game against Auburn.
Sorry, I thought he was joking. You did the laugh track, didn't you?
No, I can do that again.
Go ahead, do the laugh. Say that again, Tiggy.
The Pac-12 is going to put 2 teams in the playoffs. Where you guys go? No, look. Okay, Oregon goes 11-1, right? They lose at Washington. Okay, Washington's an undefeated 13-0 Power 5 champion, and Oregon has that win over Auburn, and that's going to put them in. Yeah, that's not hard to believe, right? Like, come on.
I don't know. I mean,
it's not going to shock. It won't shock me if Oregon beats Auburn. It won't shock me.
I mean, they probably should beat Auburn. They probably should, because they'll be higher ranked. They probably will be higher.
Well,
ranked.
I mean, that doesn't.
Who was higher ranked out of Washington and Auburn? I don't remember.
Hey, no. We had an away game. We were basically playing an away game.
So is Oregon.
You are.
Where's this at?
It's in Texas, but.
All right, so it's neutral site.
I mean, it's practically in Auburn.
Yeah, Auburn's going to travel well for that one, I'm pretty sure.
No, Oregon should take that one, dude. Oregon, they're just too big, man. Like, SEC teams, the problem with SEC teams, I just don't think they're physical enough to compete with Oregon, in trenches and stuff.
Yeah.
Oregon has the best offensive line in college football. Did you guys know that?
No.
Now you guys.
I didn't know it until you just said it.
So you're a Duck fan tonight?
No. I'm just saying, bro.
He's,
like all
he's
like
duck riding. Yeah.
You riding that duck dick?
No. I'm just saying, dude. Like they have like 5 guys that are going to the league. You know, I can respect it, right? I can respect it.
Sean Devine says Auburn is winning that game.
Really? So how's Auburn going to win, though? Because here's the problem. When you put an SEC team against a Pac-12 team, you know what's going to happen, right?
I do.
I know what happened last
Auburn's
time.
going to rely on their speed, right? Their speed's not going to beat Oregon's physicality, dude.
Alabama played a Pac-12 team a few years ago, didn't they?
Couple.
There's just too much physicality out west. Like our the guys out here are just different than like the boys down south, you know.
What was that, 52-6?
Like we got grown men out.
I will say this: Cal did beat Ole Miss last year.
That is true. That is very true.
They're going to beat them this year too. They're going.
They're gonna win at the Grove.
Yeah, they're going to go right in there. It's going to be the fucking Antifa school beats the whatever school, the SEC school. It's going to be beautiful, man.
Austin, what's your thoughts on that?
Antifa school. Antifa.
I don't know. I mean, like I said, the Pac-12 has been, you know, last few years it's been Washington and it's been Stanford, and not really anybody else. I mean, SC always gets overhyped, and then they've been taking a dump.
You ready to take Arizona State back into the WAC?
Well, I mean, they have a really good recruiting class coming in next year, so I don't really know what they're going to do this year. I think it's going to be, you know, another 7-5 in Sun Bowl year. It's just what we've been used to. That's what we get, and that's what I think is going to happen this year. But I think I think next year is where you're really going to start seeing them make a little noise. But I don't think that they're ready for big game.
Not ready for prime time yet.
They're not ready. They're not ready for the big time yet. They still got a lot. They're a really young team. They do have some talent coming back, but overall they're a young team. We actually have 4 quarterbacks battling out for a QB position. We do have the Pac-12's leading rusher coming back, which is great. A couple guys on the offensive line, but like I said the last time I was on with you guys, it's really going to come down to defense. The defense is really young. The secondary is really young. So you know what that means. That's going to be a lot of blown assignments. That's going to be a lot of miscommunication, and you know there's going to be some mishaps with that. And then of course with a young quarterback, when the freshman starts, then you know we're not going to really have a whole lot of consistency there unless they just ball out. You know, I mean it's really kind of up in the air. I mean, like I said, I think it's going to be like a 7-5, 6-6 team. You know, going to the Sun Bowl.
I'm hoping for something better than that out of the Sun Devils.
I am too.
I really think that Herm Edwards would be very entertaining if he was to
particularly if he's getting a little success.
Get up into 9 or 10 wins. That'd be.
I would love it. It's just I love what he's doing with the program. I mean, they just I don't know if you guys know, but they updated the Sun Devil Stadium. They updated all the facilities. It's gotten to be now where we can actually compete with some of the blue blood programs for recruits because they did have to update the facilities. I mean, it just wasn't even close before. So I mean, I love where he's going with it. He has a really good coaching staff. I mean, I think he has a lot of potential, but right now I just don't think that we're there yet.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I think the big thing with Arizona State, I think they're probably going to be like a 4-8 team in actuality. I think saying that like what they're putting out on the field will be a 6 or 7 win team, it's kind of discounting the fact that the Pac-12 is going to be a lot better next year. Like the Pac-12 will probably be like either the first or second best conference next season. So, like teams like Arizona State, I don't really see them improving, They're kind of stagnant. If you're like stagnant, you're just going to be left behind.
They got a couple tough spots on their schedule. I just pulled their schedule up while we're sitting here talking, and they play at Michigan State. They are actually excuse me. They're actually hosting.
They actually
Washington
beat Michigan State. They actually beat Michigan State in Tempe last year.
True.
Yeah, that's home
very
game
true. Now, Michigan State is supposed to be slightly improved this year. So I don't know.
They were supposed to be really good last year.
You're absolutely right about that. There's also they've got a couple spots on their schedule. They have to play at Utah.
I don't like that game at all.
Very well.
And you know what? I don't like the Cal game. When we go to Cal, we fucking suck at Cal for some reason. I don't know what it is about that place.
UCLA.
Washington's had issues at Cal too.
Mm-hmm.
No, we had a singular issue.
Well, I remember.
Not issue. Singular.
I seen it.
Yeah, no, in
Tiggy.
2016 though, we killed them.
I have a question, Tiggy.
Yeah.
How bad do you Huskies? I mean, you're the only. Well, no, actually, you and Bruce Martinez are the only Huskies that are in group that I know of. How bad do y'all want to get into the CFP?
The CFP.
Yeah, college football playoffs.
Oh, well, I mean, of course. I mean, the thing is, we don't want to go there if we're not ready, right? With Jake Brown, we weren't ready. We went there in 2016, we got embarrassed. You know, I mean,
so
here's the thing, right?
Are you going to be?
I wouldn't say that they got embarrassed. I just think that he was just overmatched.
Yeah.
I don't think. I mean, what was the score, like 24-7 or something like that?
Yes. No, our defense held up. Our defense was nice. I was proud of it. Just Jake Browning, I don't know what he was doing the whole game. Yeah, the offense was bad. It wasn't pretty. We were in over our heads, right? And that's okay, you know.
Because it's not because Alabama fielded a good defense or anything, you know.
No, I mean, Alabama, like, here's the thing, right? Saban had, like, years of, like, recruiting and stuff. Like, 2016, the year before 2016, right? 2015, we went, like, 6-6, right? So we were just in over our heads, you know. But I think now we're ready to go to the
So
playoffs.
are y'all nowhere near losing patience with Peterson if he doesn't get into the CFP this year?
Losing? No, dude. I mean, that guy's like the greatest. I think he's probably the greatest coach in college football. So I think we're gonna ride it out with him. I think we're gonna make the playoff. If we don't make the playoff this year, right? It depends. Like, it's gonna depend on how the team looks, how we play. Let's say we blow out everyone, right? Like we get a bunch of blowout wins, and we get snubbed from the playoffs for no reason, right? Just the committee wants to put in Alabama at like
maybe that they may get snubbed just because some of the shit you've pulled this year.
Dude, but yeah, I mean, it really depends on how the team looks, you know. But I think with Easton, I think our defense is always solid. I think this is definitely a playoff season for us. I think anything at worst, I would take an 11-1 season. I would take that, or 12-1 season in the championship. I would take that.
Well, I mean, you know, if they lose 3 games, you're going to have to take it no matter what. I mean, that's just the way that works.
I mean, like as Husky fans, like we expect at least like maybe a one loss season at worst.
Where do you see your loss at?
That's gonna be an away game because we don't lose at home.
Okay,
like,
so Oregon comes to Seattle, right?
Yeah, we're gonna beat them.
Okay,
we're gonna get that dub.
Is that going to be Oregon's only loss? You think?
Yeah, because it's gonna be their only loss, and they're gonna backdoor to win the playoff. In my like dream scenario, right?
Washington also gets Utah at home. That's going to be that'll help a little bit.
I mean,
they
we
get
play
Cal
at
at home
Stanford
this year.
Colorado's not that hard. I don't know, dude.
Yeah, you
maybe
should be able to handle Colorado. Should be able.
What was that?
Should be able to handle Colorado.
So what's the chances that Chip Kelly gets it rolling at UCLA and we see a major stride at UCLA this year?
Oh, they might be ranked this season. Definitely, they might be ranked. I think they're going to take down.
I agree with that.
Too.
They're starting to get a little bit of hype now. I think it's just because, well, I mean, they beat USC last year, but USC was terrible.
Right, both were terrible.
But I don't know. I think that the expectation is that Chip Kelly's been there a year now. Something's fixing to start happening.
Yeah, but he's only been there a year. I mean,
right,
you know.
Exactly, but
of course, they have nowhere to go but up.
Exactly.
Yeah. 8-4, man.
8-4 for the Euclid Bruins.
Yeah, really? Dude, they get the they go 5-4 in the conference. They beat Cincinnati? I think they play another group of 5, and they beat Oklahoma at home, and that's 8.
Oh no, you don't think UCLA is going to beat Oklahoma?
It's a home game. I'm taking them at home, man.
Yeah. All right,
it's the home team, bro.
Let's underline this right now. Tiggy Domz has picked UCLA to upset Oklahoma in Los Angeles.
And God, if he's right, can you imagine the furor from the Sooner fans online? Sooner fans don't take losses very well at all.
Yeah,
no, Alabama fans don't take losses that well.
Alabama, I hate to sound like a homer here, but I feel like Alabama fans as a whole, because I'm not going to say there's some certain, crazy ones out there.
Right.
We know a few of them. We've had them on the show. But, I think as a whole, though, Oklahoma fans, because Oklahoma fans will not go away. Most of the other fan bases, especially if they talk mad shit, they'll kind of slink back off into the shadows and come back in 2 weeks later.
Oklahoma still remembers that run in the 50s, and they've got a lot of confidence.
Yes, they're like they'll come in and double down, and there'll be every excuse in the book except for the fact that the team that they played was better than them. And that's just the way that rolls. That would be amazing to see that happen.
Well, guys, I don't know when we're going to start putting this together, but we're going to bring a guest picker on. We may be moving the show to Thursday if Shannon agrees to it.
Yeah, I got to talk to my agent first.
We may do a short Sunday segment recapping the games, and then do our show on Thursday.
Perhaps.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
sick. When's your guys' Big 12 preview? Because I gotta come on for that, you know.
Well,
gotta talk about Oklahoma.
The fuck if I know, I'd have to go pull some shit up online, and I'm not going to. But it may be next week. There's definitely one next week.
Yeah,
it's one of the Power Fives.
Yeah, I mean. I
So
know
which
this is,
which team will you represent for the Big 12?
Oh, I'll represent Kansas. No, here's the thing,
Les
right?
Miles, hell yeah, dude! I'm actually pulling for Kansas this year to make some waves. I'm not saying that they're going to win the Big 12, not by any stretch of the imagination. Kansas is still the worst, Power 5 team in the land.
Right?
I mean, can you think of a worse Power 5 team?
I do want to make sure.
What about Connecticut?
I don't know. I think Kansas can make a stronger argument. You know, it's not like they don't have resources down there with their basketball program.
I'm going out on a limb, and I'm going to go ahead and do this because I did it earlier in group. Oregon State they're going to put together a little streak this year, and they're going to win 5 games.
Shut up.
5
fucking games.
Conference games or 5 games?
No, just 5 games.
5
games. I don't know.
5 and 7.
I don't know which one.
5 and 7 on the season.
I'm using voodoo to do this shit, man.
If they can beat Oklahoma State, I'll take it, man. You know.
That would be
if they could beat Oklahoma State. Of course, Oklahoma State is playing Oregon State at home.
They open with them. So.
Yeah. So
right. You never know.
Well, having a former player be the coach, you know, someone that's played there or whatever. I mean, that's definitely not too far-fetched.
I had to go ahead and throw Oregon State's name in there so that we got to mention all 12 PAC teams during this, or we're not really doing a PAC preview.
We've already brought up Colorado.
Well, here's what I want to know. I mean, obviously, the North, you know, is going to be between Oregon, Washington, and probably, you know, and Stanford's always going to be in the mix because they're Stanford. They have a great program there. But who's really going to come out of the South? That's what really is what's going to be the story this year, because no one really knows. Like last year, it was just like crazy. I mean, it was like going into the last game, like it was between Utah and Arizona State, and ASU won their games, but Utah had to lose theirs, and they didn't. They had the tiebreaker, and so they went on and moved on. But I mean, no one really knows what's going to happen because there's so much inconsistency in the South. You know what I mean? I mean, SC is. I mean, I think Helton's gone after this year. They're not going to put up with that crap over there too much longer.
You're right about
Chip
that.
Kelly's going to have a good year at UCLA. U of A is going to suck like they always do. I don't see someone doing anything. They have no recruits.
That was my next question. I mean, we haven't even brought U of A up at all during this discussion, so I guess someone's pretty much just biding his time. Do we see a hot seat situation for him toward the end of the year?
Well, they don't really have any expectations down there. So I mean, as long as someone's just with the clipboard, it should be fine with them.
As long as he looks like a coach and collects his check, he should be in good shape. Okay.
You can put someone in the smack rooms in there, and they'll do just as good. They'll probably do better. But I mean, it's tough. It's tough down there. It's they're a basketball school. They don't really have any expectations, and I mean,
maybe
they actually have a decent quarterback, but they're not going to. Someone is just, I don't know. There's something about him. Like there's something about these retread coaches. They're at a big program and then they take another job. I mean, I think Les Miles isn't going to fit in that category, but I definitely think someone is.
And here I just got to point this out because there is a true parallel between Kevin Sumlin and Gene Chizik from Auburn.
Oh yeah.
As far as the fact that they were just hand delivered, some could even say bought. A just amazing, once in a lifetime quarterback, and both of them had some success out of them. I would guess strongly argue that.
Well, hold on now. Gus was just an assistant.
No, I said Gene Chizik.
Oh, okay, sorry.
He was the coach. And that's it. Let's call it what it is.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I mean, and yeah, you bringing Miles on in that conversation kind of also reinforces what I'm fixing to say. Is that that both of these have both of those coaches were able to ride off the success of a hotshot quarterback and not really have much else. There's not really a whole hell of a lot there. Chizik recruited well enough. I mean, some of the success that Auburn had after he left probably lends to that a little bit.
We should talk mad shit about Auburn because Walter Bryan is listening right now, and he's in Facebook jail, so he cannot.
Hey, I
he
thought
can't
this was a
comment,
Pac-12 conversation.
Yeah, this is a Pac-12 conference. Fuck Auburn.
I have to interject real quick. Sean Devine wants to know about Wazoo.
Ooh, man.
The hotshot
That's a good
quarterback's
question.
gone.
I mean, I don't know who their quarterback is. I mean, and their defensive coordinator was doing some things up there. I mean, they had no defense, and that guy did an excellent job. I forget what his name was, and then he left to go somewhere.
Well, not only did he leave, but they lost,
what's
his name, the hotshot quarterback. God, what is his name?
I don't remember his
with
name.
the mustache?
Yeah.
Yeah, he got drafted.
Minshew.
He graduated.
Minshew, yeah, I don't know why I couldn't think of his name. I kept thinking of something. I knew it meant something.
You was thinking of Fu Manchu or something?
Fu Manchu, yeah. With the mustache, yeah.
Wazoo, I mean, they should be decent, right? Like, they've got Leach and stuff. I mean, they're going to be decent, but they're never going to beat Washington. They're never going to be much. Hopefully they get to, like, a bowl game and they win that for the PAC. But I mean, besides that, like, what else do you expect, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like with, some of the other teams that have lost high-profile quarterbacks coming into this season throughout the country. The expectation that they're somehow, some way going to maintain that success. And I don't know. I mean, I don't see it coming out of Washington State this year. If they are able to reload, then we probably need to take a harder look at that program.
Right? Well, you know they're going to score a lot of points. I mean, just with the offense that he has out there. I mean, you can definitely get a quarterback to fit the system, and they can do really well there. But the thing with them is they got to play defense, and that defensive coordinator who left, I forget what his name is.
Alex. He went to Oklahoma.
Oh, is that what it was? Yeah, he. That was a big deal. For them to leave because they were. Before they were just hooked. It was just the first to 100 before he came in. Then the defensive coordinator, did a good job with the defense. Their defense, completed their team, and they were able to win some games and have pretty successful seasons. And now he's gone. I don't know who he got to replace him. So I don't know if they're going to be able to keep anybody out of the end zone.
Yeah, well, and Washington State have they have several really, really brutal away games. One of them is going to be at Arizona State. They play at Utah.
Yep.
And they also go to Oregon.
That's what Houston do.
That's very well possibly three losses right there. They also travel to Cal. Now they host Stanford, but that could be a loss for them.
Well, here's what we need to do. Let's get Austin to break down the South and tell us how it's going to shake out. Who's going to win the South and what's the order?
It's like pretty much just put all the teams except for U of A in a hat and pick one.
All right.
I think
you can
eliminate U of A right now, and I
you
think
you really don't like Arizona.
Colorado. I think you take Colorado out of it. They had a huge losing streak with their coach. They have a brand new coach, a brand new offense.
Rebuild.
I don't think they're in a complete rebuild mode right now. So take Colorado and take U of A out, and then you have what's left. And I think it's going to come down to the last week like it did last season, and pretty much whoever decides, whoever wins is going to come out of there. Whoever has a tiebreaker over whoever else. But I mean, SC is definitely not a lock to win it. ASU, like I said, they're getting there, and I think they're going to be competitive in a lot of games like they were last year. I just don't know how, these younger players are going to perform, so they're kind of a wild card team. Utah seems to be like that team that's been consistent for a long time, but they just can't seem to keep it together and be consistent every week. They'll always have one of those games where they just mess up and lose to somebody they shouldn't have lost to. And UCLA is, they rebuilding,
every single season.
I don't know what Chip Kelly's going to do about their quarterback situation and what they have going on there. So, if I had to pick one team, if you're going to put me on the spot, I would have to say Utah would be coming out of the South.
Wait, what was that? You said I didn't quite
Utah.
Utah, yeah, I agree with that. I think I think Utah is going to be a lot better than the rest because like who they return.
Listener Sean Devine says that SC has the most talent, or probably has the most talent.
Yeah, well, they have the most talent, but they don't have any coaching. They had the most talent last year, and they didn't even make the bowl game, right? It's kind of sad, It's like and if you look at the recruiting, if you follow it, like players are starting to notice this. Like players in Cali aren't going to USC anymore. They're like, no, they're going to other conferences. They're going to Washington. They're going to Oregon. You know,
Oregon's getting a lot of players out of California.
Yeah,
hell, the SEC is getting a lot of players out of California lately.
Yeah.
All right, so you just made a pick that Sky Anastasia would be very happy about, which he was supposed to be on tonight, but I think he dropped his phone in the toilet or something. I don't know.
That sounds about right.
All right, Tiggy, tell us about the North and how's it going to. I know who you're going to pick, but just give us an order.
1 through 6. I'm gonna go Washington 1, 2 Oregon,
obviously.
3 Cal, 4
Hellacious
Stanford.
defense.
What was that?
Cal, fucking hellacious defense.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I mean, like, I don't know how good they are. I just see a bunch of stats that say their defense is really good, and I know that
They looked good against Washington last year.
Yeah, they kind of.
What was that, like 12-10 or some shit?
Yeah, I mean, they don't really have an offense, but I mean, like, you know, but yeah, they beat us.
If you got a defense like that, you're in every game. You have a chance in every game.
Exactly. Yeah. And I mean, like, they're going to show, you know, Ole Miss and the SEC what defense is. Like, Ole Miss plays like a Big 12 team. Cal plays like a Pac-12 team, right? They have a tough defense.
All right. But, so you were at let's see, Cal was 3rd.
And I think I had Stanford 4th, Wazoo 5th, and I'm going to go Oregon State 6th.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think that, like, obviously, like, you know, just like a quick point on the South, right? I think Utah is going to be, like, way better than the rest. I think maybe you have, like, an ASU.
Okay, so y'all are united on this. Y'all both believe that Utah is going to win the South.
I mean, Utah's going to be, like, an 11-12 win team, probably.
Okay.
And, like, the second best team in the South is probably maybe going to have, like, an 8-4 record.
Well,
you know?
Sky Anastasia has actually picked Utah to go to the CFP.
To the CFP, yeah.
Yes.
He's smoking crack. They're not beating Washington. They're not beating Oregon in a Pac-12 championship game.
The North definitely has right now has the strength of the conference for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Austin, what's your take on the North, real quick?
I just don't. So the quarterback up there at UW is Easton, right, from Georgia?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's him.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, you know, you have to go. I always like in the Pac-12. It's always been if you have the experienced quarterback, you're gonna be really successful. And I don't know how this guy is going to adjust to the Pac-12 defenses, the way that they play, and is the offense completely different than what he ran at Georgia?
Yeah. I mean, a little bit. It's a pro-style offense, right? So I mean, both. I think Georgia and UW run like pretty much the same. Like I'm not like an offensive coordinator, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Similar,
yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. It just depends on his learning curve and on how well he does. Supposedly he's really good, and obviously Hubert over at Oregon is he's been in that offense for 3 years now, so he definitely has that down.
Yep.
I don't know. I mean, that's gonna be really tough. I think it's gonna come down to that game. It's gonna be the winner of the UW Oregon game is going to win the Pac-12 North,
which is in Seattle. So you have to.
Yeah, if it's in Seattle, I'd have to go at UW on that one. That's a really, really tough place to play.
Yep.
So I guess I think it's going to be Washington, Utah then.
All right, and okay, so we know that Tiggy believes that Washington and Oregon are going to the CFP. Do you think the PAC will reach the CFP this year?
Who does UW play anybody in their out of conference that's in the top 25?
BYU.
Let's hope not.
You never know. BYU.
BYU.
Yeah.
And then because the Pac-12 plays a 9-game in conference. Right. So
now Oregon gets a hell of a bump if they beat Auburn, though.
That's just true.
Yeah. I was going to say if Oregon wins that game, then obviously them in the national discussion is going to be interesting because they're going to have a win over SEC.
At the same time, though, if Oregon beats Auburn, then it actually gives Washington a big bump if they beat Oregon.
Correct. So, I mean, I definitely don't think there's going to be 2 teams coming out of the Pac-12 going to CFP. I think there's going to be one because I think the conference is we have had some really bad conference play going on.
2019
we beat each other up.
2019
we do beat each other up.
Right. 2019
so,
is the PAC's year to return to the CFP?
I think yeah, you see a team in there. I think the winner of the UW Oregon game is going to go, and if it's in Seattle, so I mean I got to pick UW there. I mean you have to. So I think Washington goes. I think Washington will be the representative for the Pac-12 this year.
Well, we're all in agreement here. Goddamn.
Wow.
I mean, I'm not.
I know. Kind
I
of
really
boring,
didn't.
right?
I've already said Oregon State's. Oh, I said they're winning 5 games.
Of course, Sky Anastasian, if he was on the podcast tonight, he would have picked Utah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Utah's they're a great program. I love what he's doing up there. They're just too damn inconsistent. Like they'll beat SC, they'll beat an Oregon, but then they'll turn around the next week and they'll lose to like Oregon State or what I mean? Like they're weird like that. They just can't seem to ever get it together.
Do you guys have any final thoughts?
Oh, yeah. Hey, I will say this, right? The Pac-12 might only send one team to the playoff. If, let me see, Oregon, they have a tough game near the end of the season. They have to go at, I think, Arizona State, and Arizona State's tough to play at, dude. So I think they could drop that one. They could be, 10-2, you're not getting in.
You got any thoughts?
2-win Pac-12, yeah.
All right, we'll give Austin a chance to respond to that, and then we're hanging up on your asses.
I do like Arizona State's schedule. A lot of the tougher teams are going to be playing at home, so you might be right. They actually might win like eight or 9 games, but I think for the most part, it's going to be Utah and UW in the Pac-12 championship.
All right, you heard it.
Excellent. Fellas, we really appreciate it. Y'all take it easy.
All right, and just real quick before we go,
Oh.
I'm predicting that the PAC gets left out of the CFP again this year.
Oh, and real quick before we go, that thread
Wah,
with
wah,
800
wah.
comments now.
800 now?
800 comments, yeah. Get over to hashtag
Yeah,
Family
get
Smack.
over to-
Check this shit out.
Absolutely.
It's pretty funny.
Good night, guys.
Night, guys.
All right, thanks a lot, guys.
You too, man. Peace out.
Find Smacking Off the podcast on Facebook and on YouTube.
Tune in to Smacking Off the podcast every Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific. Fuck each and every motherfucker who doesn't.